doing? How you doing? How you been? Welcome back to Mr. P. Ooh, that glare is awful. Give me 1 second. Okay, better. All right, so, hi. How are you guys? Are you guys keeping yourselves from boredom? Well, I wasn't feeling so hot this morning, so I had sort of a slow start to my day. But I do want to make a couple of things, mainly breakfast and like quick lunches or something. I'll explain. So we're going to be making 2 things today. The first thing we're going to do, and I think I've made all of these before, but it might have been under the Just for One channel. Not this one, so I'm going to just go ahead and do it again. But we are doing, we're making some apple scones so I can have it in the morning. And we're also going to be making the cornbread chili loaf, which some of you have requested. So I've already prepped everything for both things that I'm going to be making. And you would have seen that in a video already. If you haven't, I will link it up above. Please go and check it out. So first thing we're gonna do is the apple scones. So number 1, so I am cheating. This is not off of memory. I've got an easel with my recipe and instructions on it. So 425. That's going. Now, what we're gonna do is, in a large bowl, this should be large enough. Lord knows I've got plenty of mixing bowls. I'm just trying to keep it all as small as possible, so I'm not washing so much. So, things you're gonna need. The large bowl. So in a large bowl, we're gonna combine flour, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. So I've got my flour, but I have more than 2 cups in here. There's a reason for that. First reason, sorry, that was probably really loud. Once the dough has been mixed, I'll be dumping it onto my cutting board, but that needs to be floured. So let's go ahead and do that. Yes, yes. Oh, you look so nice. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful. Okay. So we're going to be putting in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull out a couple of, like that much, from my overflowing 2 cup of flour, and then I'll put that back in there. Sometimes the dough is really wet, so I like having extra so I can work with it. So sorry, I just made such a massive mess with that flour. So there we go. All right, so I've got the 2 cups of flour in there. Then I need to combine or add the sugar, and the sugar is ½ a cup. So it's ½ a cup of white sugar. So you add that to the bowl. Then it's 2 tablespoons of baking powder. So I've got that in there. Then we need a ½ teaspoon of baking soda and a ½ teaspoon of salt. So in here I have both. For my baking, I always use kosher salt. So it's a little bit more granular. Granular? Is that the word? It's a little bit more rocky, but I like using it and it does just as well. So there we go. All the dry ingredients are in there. So now the next step is we're taking a ¼ cup of cubed chilled butter. And we're going to just be cutting that into here, the dry mixture. So I'll just show you how I do it. I mean, there's no science to this, but I just plop it in. I don't really. And then I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I use those little individual serving butters. I just feel it's easier to work with, and you don't just have this butter just sitting around. I don't do a lot of butter myself, so I tend not to have it around. Are you kidding me? Am I the only one that makes a mess when it comes to cooking and baking and all of that? So you really want to get that butter coated, but you don't want to play with it too much because you don't want the heat of your hands to melt the butter. You want this butter melting while it's in the oven, not in your hands. So now that we've got this, I did forget the apples, so let me go and grab the apples. So I've got the shredded apple, which I've already shredded. It is turning brown a little bit, but we'll combat that. So let's add the apple in here, and it's one apple that has been cored and peeled and shredded. So that's in there. Oh my gosh, this smells so yummy. Oh, that smells so good. Let's do that. Again, you don't want to mix it too much because you don't want, I don't know, something you don't want. You don't want to, whatever, just don't mix it so much. God, what a great baker, huh? Great instructions. And now you add in your milk, like that. Of course, I made a mess with the milk. There we go. And that was half a cup of milk. So for the dough, I like flipping the spoon around and doing that. And then you just mix it until a dough forms. There we go. Give me the rest of that. All right. So then we plop it onto our board. Okay. Now, because I am not in the mood to mess around, lightly dust my hands, and let's get the rest of this off of here. And then you need, you know, knead like that a few times, not too much. Again, remember that the butter is in here, so you don't want it melting from your hands. All right, so that's pretty well mixed. Oven is ready to go. Okay, now what you want to do is cut this into two. Of course, I'm getting dough on everything, but that's okay. So there you go. You cut these into two. Grab some old flour, just dust it just really lightly. And then form a ball with this one. There you go. And then flatten it out a little bit. And then you cut your scones out of here. I'm going to do regular sized ones. So the recipe calls for 6 out of each roll. Those are going to be tiny. Does it look like I eat anything tiny? No. So there we go. Set those aside. Then let's do the same, the other one. All right, so now let's set these aside. Wow, there's a mess. Let me clean this up really quick. All right, so I have to take your call, sorry. So now let's move on to getting these things in the oven. So I like to always use parchment paper when baking. Sorry, that was probably really loud. But I like using parchment paper when I bake. So I'm gonna be making 2 of these trays, but I'll just do one for now. So first things first, you're gonna want some sugar and some cinnamon. You're essentially gonna be making cinnamon sugar. So there we go. All right, so now what we do, oh, and then you'll also need some milk because you're going to brush the top of these with it. All right, so on your tray, you grab, I have my little pastry thing here, you grab your grab your scones. They don't grow a lot, so I may actually put them all on here. No, I'm not gonna risk it. So there's that. There we go. So you grab your milk and you brush. Just like that. And you sprinkle some of your sugar cinnamon on top. Oh my gosh, this smells so good already. There you go. And then we just continue doing that. So I've got them both, I've got both trays done. There's the first one. There's the second one. You can add as much cinnamon sugar as you want. I don't like putting, I know it looks like a lot, but I don't like putting a lot because I don't like things really sweet, especially at breakfast. So let's stick those in the oven. Let's stick them in. And those go in for 15 minutes. And then they're ready. So let me go ahead and clean all this up while that's going. All right, let's pull these suckers out. Wow, look at that. Look at those. Can you guys smell? Oh my gosh. I'm loving it. Look at that one. I mean, look at those. Oh, they look so good. Look at those. Oh, let me turn on smell-o-vision for you. Oh, smell those. Oh my gosh. Those turned out better than I expected. So, yay. So while those cool down, let's get the chili cornbread thing done. Loaf. So we need to preheat the oven to 400, so let's do that. What do I need for this sucker? Yes, I take off my glasses to read. Okay, so I need an egg and 3/4 cup of milk. let's go and get that. All right, so we're gonna add a 1/3 cup of milk. Let's do that. And an egg. In here I have the egg and the milk mixture. And now let's stick one of these Jiffy boxes. Put you down. This is really easy. This is the easy way of doing it. I mean, you can make it all from scratch and stuff, but I don't have patience for that today. But I stayed at a friend's house when I was in high school, and his mom made this before we got up in the morning. So I asked her what the recipe was, and she told me. And I'm like, well, can't I make it with... She's like, yeah, that's the quick, easy way. But she was a stay-at-home mom, and she loved to cook, so... All right, so let's do that. I like to mix these up before I put it in there. Put that in there. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. All this is just what the box calls for. So I haven't this is layered. I don't know if I'm going to use the other one or not. We'll try it with one first. Then let's open this can. All right, so I'm gonna be making them. I was gonna make a loaf, but the loaf pan I have is really small. So I'm gonna be using these dishes that I got from Sur La Table. Very nice, and I may just make 2 of them. So let me grab some spray. There we go. So now what we do is we just put this in here. All right. So let's smooth all that out as much as we can. Let's dump this into a bowl and mix it all up. I find that with these cans, the chili on top is relatively dry because all the mixture has moved to the bottom. So I just like giving that a quick stir. And now, all I do is just plop it on there. Essentially, this becomes a meal. There it is. There it is right there. Now, you could put another layer of the corn muffin mix on top. However, that's going to just be too much, so I don't want to do that. But I do like making this, like if I know I'm going to have company, I can make one of these, and then I can also make my breakfast casserole, and then they're just easy. The next morning, heat them up, cube them up, so people have like, you know, a square of it. So right now, let's stick this in the oven, and it says 15 to 20 minutes, but that is for this. So I think we're gonna be closer to 30, but let's stick it in there and let's find out. Okay. So while that's in the oven, let's do, so guys, I don't know if you know this, but baking is a stress reliever for me. And I must have been really stressed when I started this. I just haven't been feeling well today. I've been stressed lately, so I think it just caught up with me. But since I've been doing this, I could just feel so much better. I feel my aura just better. So these things have cooled down some, so let's go ahead and plate those up. And I'm not plating them up for any other reason than I just want to take a picture of it. So let me show you what they look like. Look at that. I mean, even like the nooks and crannies, and the bottom is good. Yeah, perfect. So now let's open it up. Oh my, look at those bits of apple and just, anyway. Baby steps follow baby steps. So let's load these up. Oh, and look at the topping. Just, oh, it looks so crunchy and so good. Oh my goodness. Let's do that. Get all fancy. And I'm the only one eating this, so I don't care that my hands are all over it. Oh yes, look at that. Look at that. You look so pretty. How do we do this? Make it look pretty. What you doing? Right there. All right. Here we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So those are the scones. I'm going to let those, let me just talk to you. I'm going to let those cool down for a little bit more before I put them in a container, but let's try, like my mouth's watering. Let's try these. I'm gonna take a bit of this top. Oh my God. Wow. Amazing. So, all right guys, we'll be back when that loaf is out, and I'll give you precise timing. And I'm gonna finish this scone. It has been about 30 minutes. So I would normally use like a bamboo skewer stick or kebab stick, whatever it's called, to poke in the center and see if it comes out wet. However, with the chili, this doesn't really work because it will always come out wet. So what I like to use is a butter knife. So let's see. All right, and I don't know if you can see, but look at that. Like, it's ready. So let's take this sucker out. That's what it looks like. But had you put on a second layer of the corn muffin mix, you would not see that. I don't know, I just think it looks nice. Then you get crunchy sides. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to let that cool down, and then we'll cut into it and see how it turned out. But it smells amazing. It smells so good. So while that's cooling down, I'm gonna finish cleaning up because, as we all know, Paula likes to make a mess when he cooks. Let's see what it looks like. Now the problem is, it's taking the first piece out. Let's see if I can do this without burning my, let's do this one here. No. How do you guys take the first piece out? Huh? I mean, normally I wouldn't care because it's just me eating it, but because it's a video, oh, you're gonna be awful, aren't you? Yes. Oh my gosh. This smells amazing. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's hot. Wow, that is really good. That's good. That's amazing. Yes, please. So there is, for those of you that were curious on what it was, that's what it is. It's just cornbread with chili. Nothing exciting. But I've got food, like quick meals, snacks. That's not really a snack, that's more of a meal. When I don't really want to even like heat something up, I will eat that just cold. So that's it for me, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me and making a couple of things. I do feel a lot better than I did when I started the video. So doing this kind of perked me up a little bit. So I'm gonna get back to the vlog. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna get back to the vlog. I have some things I still want to get done. And then, yeah, edit these videos. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe. And I also hope you're all making someone's heart smile at least once a day. So until next time, bye.